So we're live. We're live. Uh, cool. Yeah. So we had technical problems. We were planning this event with Yak Magazine, but we had technical problems with his microphone. So, but that's no problem. He's gonna reinstall stuff, and then we'll either try later. We'll try like at another point this week. We'll figure it out. We'll schedule it. We'll reschedule these, and we'll do a second attempt. That's no problem at all. Yeah, it's a pity. I was kind of like excited about these, but yeah, don't worry, guys. We will actually get that event organized. Um, and in the meantime, I wanted to do a bit of thinking around Omega Quest. But I have you here because I did post something today, which was a bit of a tease to like some changes coming. And I will explain myself. Okay, I'll explain. I'm reposting too. This one. So, what I want to do is I want to essentially I kind of realized that the concept, the base concept, because when I started the project, the base concept was very immature, right? I mean, it was the idea of like I've been doing this 2019, have all these videos, and I want to mine data from other people. I wanted the people to contribute in a, sort of an open source way, right? And it's kind of difficult to come up with like mechanics and community mechanics and rewarding mechanisms that actually are make people um make people actually engaged. And the following came to mind. Like, look, I think we're at the point where people do not so much gladly, at least those who can do this thinking aloud thing, they do not so much want to spend the time doing these. The rewards might not seem too, you know, too fulfilling. Maybe it's a little complicated to understand exactly what to do, or it kind of feels like, yeah, it's also maybe the wrong way to present it, right? It's also maybe the wrong way to present. Um, and what does work is farming. Farming does work well in the sense that we have these farms, and actually this one will yield stuff today because it's weekly dividend. So we have 4 people staking on Moldbook, and we have 1 person staking on Rent a Human. Um, and so this concept seems to work well, right? And then we have a farm coming up here called the Obsidian Sanctum, which is still not finished. Well, it's still not fully finished, right? But the idea is, I mean, if you want to rent it, you can already start renting it. And you essentially, basically give it, you basically power it with Omega tokens, and then you have access to the pod itself. But maybe we have to just make it simpler. We have to make it simpler for people to understand what's in it for them, right? We have to make it easy for people to understand that this is a project where the whole point is a mining operation, right? So we want to really mine data to use for the data set, build it in a crowdsourced way. Now, how do we do this? So I thought we have to change some of the dynamics a bit, because people want to be rewarded directly. And I guess it's easier when people are also rewarded directly with dollars, for example. So I've been thinking about a concept where the mining would actually the mining would actually be front and center, not the marketplace, not the marketplace, more the mining. And we would rename this from farming to mining. So you'd be able to stake on a mine, you'd be able to rent the mine, or you'd be able to create your own mine. here's where the thing is kind of different, right? I'm gonna see if I can, because I've been brainstorming these with, if I can get this economic model, copy paste it, and discussed here. The idea is the following, right? So I still want, like, this seems to work. People seem to at least it's like, at least it's like 5 people staking, right? I mean, that's some kind of usage. And there's almost nobody really trading, right? So there's one guy who's actually done a bounty a couple times. There's a few people doing the bounty stuff, a few users doing the bounty stuff, but the trading itself, I think it's too scary. I think people's like, what do I do? Do I prepare these? Do I, like, you know what I mean? Like, what do I do? So I want to make it easy to understand. I want to make the whole concept easy to understand in terms of what it is that you're doing. And at the same time, I want to provide more valuable rewards to you. And it's a bit of the cold start problem, right? I do not like, I don't know, I do not have like huge funding to, to kind of like seed some rewards in here, then let it kind of run and burn. And that's where I thought, look, I think we should actually integrate closer to the Bax ecosystem. Because what Bax is this. What Bax is like, hey, I want to start a project and I'm gonna basically fund it with a coin. So what I'm gonna be changing here is around the farming concept, right? So you're gonna be able to have your farms or your mines that you'll be staking on. That stays. You'll be able to rent a full one. That also stays. And what you'll be able to do as well is basically create your own mine, right? So, and when you create your own mine, essentially what you're doing is you're kind of establishing a commitment to deliver data regularly, right? What will happen in the back is that I will be testing a concept where you create a mine and that actually creates a token for you. We will create a token for you programmatically via the Bax API, right? And you, as a mine owner, will be the 100% owner of the fees. So that's directly rewards that you kind of get, right? That's rewards that you get directly that you can then claim, right? And the only condition is that to keep the farm active, you have to essentially provide 1 hour of video every month, right? So, and what does it mean to keep the farm active? To keep the farm active means that we will actually market the farm as well. So we'll help you run. We will actually help you, create awareness for the token. So essentially, the economic model will be something like this. It's going to be an opening fee, right, for creating the $500,000. There's no Omega rewards for data submissions, right? The token trading fees are the reward in this. No, this is actually not. So, there's no daily caps in data submissions, so you can submit as much as you want, right? 1 hour means 1 month, right? But there's a quality threshold. So the idea is basically we are actively promoting the Mines token. We're actively, helping you generate movements in the token. And that's kind of your commitment is this. You're getting fees, right, out of the token, and you're providing the data in exchange for that support. So in a way, this sets for an avenue where if you're providing value directly by doing the stuff yourself, you're actually getting um, your own rewards, right? Directly your own feedbacks. You still have to pay that extra fee that contributes to the ecosystem, and the submissions that you're going to be making will also have some. So the fees will still remain Omega fees, right? The concept here being that you still want the primary fee to be Omega. so that it keeps feeding into the platform, right? But essentially, you will be able to do something. You'll be able to spin up a token, basically, via Omega Quest, right? And get that baseline sort of marketing through the Omega Quest platform. Yeah, so that's basically the transformation of the marketplace. Well, another change that I will introduce is that you will be able to stake in other currencies, but the fees will still be in Omega. This might be step number, I don't know, I'll see. But this will be something where I think I'm going to be using these as more of a way to basically get another token integrated into the platform, right? Like, say, do some co-marketing with GSD or with some other token and basically get it integrated in here. Yeah, I think that is what I will do. This is going to be more like on a one-by-one basis, like, hey, there's a GSD. So they're going to be token based. Yeah. But the biggest change is this, right? The biggest change would be the concept of the marketplace not anymore being something that basically I like you submit something and then you get a reward. But if you want to be able to do that continuously, you establish your own mine. This launches a token for you, and essentially the fees from that is what you're continuously earning by working with the Omega people, right? And I have to find ways to then basically promote these promote the token. Probably might be something where we do seasons, where we do seasonal tokens, to guarantee there's some freshness. And if you want to take a break for a season, then you don't have to, do that. But the idea is, you can turn yourself into kind of like a content creator, right? Like a data miner, data creator, right? But this is already like you need to be someone who is like very dedicated to these, right? It's not like an occasional thing. I want to sell the market, like creating your own farm is kind of like your own creator platform. It's like you want to do these, you want to do these regularly, right? You want to do this regularly, and that's kind of a way that we give you to basically fund this idea. So basically kind of give you the possibility to either create, and we can do something where if you already have a token, maybe you can just bring it on, right? But then it's like if you have a token that we haven't created, then then you might actually have to pay a fee extra for integrating it. You already have one token running, kind of. But that's I think that can be an interesting thing. So you have seasonal tokens, and then those kind of give you fuel for a season or so, and yeah, and then let you basically. I have to think what the value proposition. But I think the idea here is to basically say, look, you don't have to be, you can literally just become a kind of a content creator, a data creator directly in the platform, rather than just trading when so to getting those. That's what I'm kind of cooking at the moment. So of course feedback is welcome, but I'm thinking this could be interesting way to let to have a deeper integration with the Bax API, with the Bax ecosystem, and then give people the possibility basically these create those tokens for you, and so we will actually do the put the fee cost initially and all this um, and you would launch them for free, right? That would be one. And then basically that being able to actually on a stake on farm with another Bax coin could be an interesting. Okay, anyway, that's the update that I wanted to give, right? A bit of as a tease to what's coming next. I know I'm iterating fast. I want to iterate fast because that's an interesting concept. I just want it to work. I mean, I want this to work in a way that I want to be able to create the dynamics of a platform that help people kind of make people back and actually generate the data, right? That's the most important thing. I want to be able to actually have people generate that data. Awesome, guys. Awesome. Cool. And I promise that I will reschedule. I will reschedule the Think Aloud session. Did anyone have technical problem? Quite excited for this. Yeah. What can now I'm gonna get to work on these and see what happens. Yes. Of course, I will integrate the Socratic lesson. Maybe not from front end perspective. Okay, so I think that'll probably be it really. So I just want to think a bit more about these. I want to make sure that I iterate on, and let's think about this. What would make people do this and come back to this? I mean, staking is obvious. You kind of have and we're doing out loud thinking as well, right? We're trying to solve this problem. So we've got people that own Omega, right? Or as a matter of fact, it doesn't even really matter if you own Omega. You can stake something else, right? But let's say that let's say you can stake any currency you want from Solana, but there's a fee which is you actually need to buy. So you need to kind of like stake. You need to always spend. Then what does the staking give you? The staking basically funds the farm. The farm keeps working on the data with their bots and generates earnings. And then these earnings are spread across the staker. So that's it. You can rent a full farm. To rent a full farm is a little riskier. You must pay a monthly rate, and here we can do. That's going to then be just Omega. And essentially you get access to a bot and then you tell it what to do, right? Get access, so you're getting access to you have your own dedicated like mine bot, right? And then you tell it what to do. um Go to this website or that, gather the data from there, generate static data, stuff like this. You have access to actually tell it what. And this means in this way, it's kind of like an easy way to basically just passively stake you're contributing to the project, but you're not caring so much about the data here. You're just basically funding the project. Um, and then you have the third option, which is create your own farm. And here is when you already say, look, I am I have expertise in math. I want to do these. It's at least once a month, 1 hour a month commitment. Um, and you pay a fee. Um, you pay a fee, and essentially, what's happening out of these is you just have to provide that 1 hour of data. You want to keep it active. We're gonna create a token for you so that you earn from that token. So that's where you're gonna make the earnings, right? And it's kind of in your interest also make that farm a successful marketing stunt, and that is also marketing for the platform, right? uh you know what I can what I thought about maybe if your farm token reaches a certain market cap, like maybe there's rewards. You know what I mean? Maybe there's rewards for you then. um API. Can I pull in the and trade tokens? No. Get fee. Can I get like oh, launch a token? How to guides API reference. Can I create token info and metadata? Get it backs pulls. What is oh, but I guess it's something that is just public, right? I think Grok. Can I programmatically get the market cap of a Solana token? I guess so. Yes. Because then we could just basically do it like these, where if you're reaching a certain market cap, then you get like you get like an extra drop of Omega or something like that. You get like an extra reward. That also gives you an incentive to actually and yeah, I think that could be an interesting, like 100,000, 500,000, 1 million. So like have three different market cap sort of milestone. That's probably a cool idea. I'll write this down, and I think that's a strong idea. I just need to find a good way to market it, because you want to do it, and you want to, if you're willing to participate and trade data like these, then you want to be able to do that. And I'm not so sure about the bounties. About the bounty, like they're too low engagement. Like they're too low engagement. If you want to, maybe the bounties will just exclusively be sponsored. I think I'm just gonna do something that it's just exclusively sponsored, and there might just be all dollar amount. Know what I mean? Just like one-off corporations platforms, just to get traffic in. So the bounties would just get traffic in. And if you want something to be someone to be very dedicated to these, then they're gonna do the token launch and Um, other than that, you can also just go to this. I have to polish sort of the message. It's gonna be very, very, very simple to because I know the guy who's doing bounties, he's telling me all the time, it's like when's the next, right? It's like a person who actually wants to do these. So why not, if you want to do this, why not commit long term? Why not do these things with like at least 1 hour a month, 1 hour a month? You get the token launched for you with the fees. We run some marketing for you and blah 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 and whatnot. And if if you reach certain thresholds, then you're at least yeah, you at least kind of have extra benefits. I need to go back and on it, but I think that's a good direction, because if you want to do the trading, you want to do the trading, you want to do a commission. If you're not, you're gonna do right, because that's what's I mean that's what's clearly working. But then I wanna be able to let people stake in any uh in in sort of any coin. I mean, I'll add support for a few. Yeah, probably that's what's gonna have to. Okay, so you guys, I need to sleep on it. Need to chew on the idea. Quite some.